ladies and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Hi there. Good to see you. Thank you, Johnny Olson. Welcome once again to Tell the Truth, and I'm sure that all you seafaring types in the audience are familiar with an animal known as a dugong. Or if you're from Florida, perhaps you call it a manatee. And scientists tell us that the legend of the mermaids came when the sailors early on got their first look at a manatee or a dugong. And why, I don't know. But anyhow, we're not going to let you down. We are going to actually show you a mermaid, and if you think that she's a sea cow or a dugong, Johnny Olson will give you a free eye examination right after the show. But first, let's meet our seagoing panel here on To Tell the Truth.
Bill Cullen. Peggy Cass. Rosie Greer. And Kitty Carlisle.
And if you were with us yesterday, you had a great show yesterday, and one of the reasons is our special guest who is with us for the first couple of days of this week, one of the all-time football greats, Rosie Greer. Large champion. Big word. Panel, have any one of you ever seen a dugong or a manatee in person?
I have.
Aren't they ugly?
Yeah.
The ugliest thing, and I want to tell you, for any sailor to mistake that for a mermaid, he's got to be a long time at sea. Is that what?
Yeah.
He's going to have.
Big thing.
Huh? Oh, they're and ugly.
I know.
But we got something pretty. Let us show you now our real mermaids.
Number one. What is your name, please?
My name is Bonnie Giordano's.
Number two.
My name is Bonnie Giordano's.
Number three.
My name is Bonnie Giordano's.
Don't you love our special underwater cameras? Oh, we spare no expense. All right, here is the story of Bonnie Georgiadis. Sorry about that, and here's where it goes. I, Bonnie Georgiadis, am a mermaid. That is to say, I am one of the famous live mermaids of Weeki Wachee, Florida, who perform each year in a dazzlingly new underwater production. I also write, produce, and choreograph this unique presentation where spectators are seated in a special theater that is 16 feet below the surface of the water. The mermaids perform in a 137-foot chasm with a grace of motion and beauty of form that words are inadequate to describe. So, just watch for a moment. It looks so easy, and it's so very hard. Lest you think they're malformed, those are indeed swim fins they were wearing. Now, although the mermaids use air hoses to sustain themselves during the 45-minute performance, it is a requirement that each mermaid be able to hold her breath for approximately 2 long minutes. Signed, Bonnie Georgiadis. And if you don't think that 2 minutes is a long time, we're going to pause for 2 minutes right now. See if you can hold your breath. We'll try it along with you. Here we go.
You're on love.
Just made it. I think I've been wasting my time. All this time I could have been a mermaid. I'm lying to you. During the commercials, I had 2 cigarettes and a nap. But remember that we have over here 3 delightful, luscious creatures, deep-finned damsels, all of whom claim to be Bonnie Georgiadis, a mermaid who writes, produces, and choreographs the famous Weeki Wachee underwater spectaculars. And we'll start with Bill Cullen.
Deep-finned damsels, did you say?
That's pretty fancy verbiage.
Oh, that's poetry if I ever heard of it. Number one, they say you are supplied with air. When you were swimming around there was no visible means of air. How do you go about getting the oxygen you need, number one?
Well, we use air hoses, but in that particular film, we didn't, so it looked more spectacular.
Now, number 3, I'll jump to you for no particular reason, but you use the air hose and you get oxygen, and you now have oxygen in your lungs, correct?
No,
You don't?
it isn't oxygen.
Oh, it's air, plain air.
Compressed air.
Compressed surface air. You have air that hopefully has some oxygen in it. Now, I notice that slowly you exhale this. Is that a trick that is difficult to learn? The exhalation.
Is it difficult to learn to exhale?
Underwater. I've been doing it for years up here, but I've always had trouble exhaling underwater properly.
You learn through experience.
Thank you, Bill. We're going to go to Peggy.
Well, what do you do? Like every 2 minutes go and take a big gulp on the hose? Number 3?
Yes, sometimes you carry the hose with you, and at other times you put it down and perform without it.
I see. Number 1, where's Weeki Wachee?
It's about 60 miles north of Tampa and St. Petersburg.
Thank you. Number 2, there's a very famous statue of a mermaid in a European city. Do you know what city that is?
Greece?
What?
In Athens?
Oh, okay. Thanks. Number 1, were the Lorelei mermaids?
I don't know.
I don't really... Oh, number 3, is that a natural chasm or did you all dig it?
It's natural.
I see. Number 2, how much does it cost to get into your show?
Doesn't cost anything.
You mean you can go to your show free?
Oh, you?
Yeah. I would think they'd charge you to go. They should pay you a few bucks if you ask me. But I mean, how much would I have to pay to go see you?
You'd have to pay $275, I think.
Uh-huh. Well, I think that sounds as though
Not
it's
allowed
worth
in
it.
barefooted either. And from Peggy, we go to Rosie.
Number 1, do you ever have any problem with drunks?
With drunks?
Yeah. Want to get in the tank?
No, you can't get in there. There's no way you can get in.
Okay. Number 2, how do you go about developing your when to stay down there that long?
Well, you go through a period of about 3 months, and you have to. You don't have to have that many qualifications to get in. Just not be afraid of water and like it.
Oh.
Certain areas.
Number 3, are there agencies that book mermaids?
I didn't hear you.
Are there agencies that book mermaids?
No.
No? What would you call a guy?
A merman.
Oh.
Except we don't have mermen.
And we go now to Kitty, please.
Thank you. Number 3, do you smoke?
Sometimes.
Don't mind it.
Number 2, does it cut your wind if you smoke?
Yes, it does.
Uh-huh. And number 1, it says you write these things. What is there to write in an underwater ballet?
Well, the narration. And,
Oh, there is a narrator.
Yes.
Talk under the water?
Who does the talking?
Well,
Peggy
various
wants to know, do you
girls.
talk underwater?
We do talk underwater.
You do?
Yes.
While you're doing this?
No. It's all narrated on tape, but we do talk underwater. It's part of the show.
I see. Number 3, is that your maiden name, Georgiadis? Or were you married to it?
My married
That's your married name, Georgiadis. And number 2, you say you're mermaids, but what I saw were ladies with 2 legs. Do you ever perform dressed as you are now with the mermaid costume on, with your legs together?
Yes.
And how does that work?
Well, it's a propelling motion with the whole body, and we.
Thank you.
Just like a fish does, I guess, you know?
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Anyhow, it is time now for us to make up our mind. It is time for us to mark our ballots, and we decided which underwater lady is it? Is it number 1, or is it number 2, or is it number 3? And we pay $50 for each wrong vote. We pay $500 if everybody goes wrong, and Bill Cullen gets the dubious honor of starting.
You know, when this began, I didn't know anything at all about mermaids. And after this illustrious panel finished their questioning, I know less. Number 3 has the straight type shoulders of someone who has done a lot of swimming. And on that basis, I voted for, well, there's other things, but I don't want to mention them, but I voted for number 3.
Okay, we got a 3 showing, and we're going to go to Peggy.
Well, I was going to vote for 3 because her name was Georgiadis, and I thought maybe she was Greek, but as long as she's married to a Greek, that wouldn't show. So I voted for number 1. She looks like a swimmer to me.
Okay, and Rosie Guerrero, what are you going to do?
Well, I decided to vote for number 1 because she looks like she's a swimmer.
This looks like it. Well, all right, we have an intuitive vote there. We got a pair of 1s and 1, 3, and
Well,
Kitty,
I
what
was
are you
going to
do?
vote for number 3 because I thought she looked like a swimmer, and she's got wonderful posture, and number 2 is so pretty, and they're all pretty. But I like number 1's answers about the narration, and I thought she sounded as though she knew what she was talking about, so I voted for number 1.
Well, that's what we think here. Let's see what you think there. Will the real Bonnie Georgiadis please stand up?
Who is it?
Hey! Nice run, Bonnie. Thank you. Number 3, I don't know what you do, but you obviously ought to change your job. What is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Jean Fertitta, and I'm an unemployed executive secretary right now.
Well, good luck. Unfortunately, you're not alone. Number 2, gee, I'm sorry about that. What is your real name? What do you do?
My name's Mary Michele, and I'm an unmarried bridal model.
Unmarried bridal model. Unmarried brides are kind of the thing nowadays. Well, now, Bonnie, tell me one thing. I understand in Weekiwatis, isn't that alligator country down there? I've been down.
Yes, we have alligators in the river.
Do they ever come up where you perform?
We have had them come up where we perform. Yes.
And what do you do then?
We exit sometimes and
In a hurry.
right.
Hand them the hose and run. Bonnie, thank you very much. And thank you also, ladies, for being with us here on To Tell the Truth.